Hello and welcome to Soul Messages from the Spirit Realm, a weekly Akashic Records reading for women who are learning to trust what they already know. I'm your host, Drew Taylor Cohen, and this is your Akashic Records reading for the week of June 22nd, 2026. I'm being shown a woman with very long dark hair. It reaches the bottom of her back, and it is soaking wet, as if she has just walked out of the ocean, freshly cleansed by the salt water of the ocean. I can feel her exhale as she continues to walk out of the water, and it just is feeling this, it feels like a release, like letting go, a cleansing feeling. And as I say that, my solar plexus is activated, the spot right below my belly button, as if to draw attention inward to the truth that is inside of each of us, the knowing that lives with us and is always asking for our attention and for our guidance. Yes, and so this image of this woman cleansing herself from the salt water of the ocean is a visual reminder of this opportunity we always have to us to cleanse and release old beliefs, old patterns, old habits, rinse away anything stale that is no longer serving us so that we can return to our own inner energy, our own inner compass to guide us. And I know we've been talking about this for several weeks if you've listened to the past few weekly readings, this theme of trusting our intuition, quieting external influences paired with this celebration or milestone that we've been at. And that's what this feels like, a culmination of, that when we reach these milestones, when we grow in certain ways or walk through certain thresholds, we have to also release anything that is no longer serving us so we can continue to grow in this new direction. So the same theme is coming through again this week, but in a different visualization or flavor. And that's really around water. So how can you cleanse yourself? And this is obviously a metaphor. So cleanse yourself energetically, but using the physical elements of water to also cleanse yourself. So I'm hearing spend time in the water, and that can look any way you want it to, whether it's the ocean or a pool or a lake or just your own bathtub or shower or simply sink where you might, rinse your hands. But the message that is really coming forward is to do any of these activities with intention. So to be in water, and when you are, to really think about rinsing away anything stale, anything that you've outgrown, whether those, again, are beliefs or patterns or mindsets, anything that is no longer serving you into this next chapter, to really picture it washing away from you when you're in water so that you can start this next chapter fresh. Next, they're bringing the attention to the heart space, sending it kind of this quite intense, very heavy feeling in the chest. And then another ping to the solar plexus region. And what they're conveying through these two sensations in the body is that once you are freshly cleaned, to reconnect with these two parts of you and to name whatever your heart's desire is for the rest of the year. So we're just wrapping up the June solstice. If you're in the northern hemisphere, that is the summer solstice, and it is a time to really reflect back on all that you've lived through, accomplished perhaps, learned since the beginning of the year, and also looking ahead to seeing what do you want to grow towards, what do you want to bring forward, what do you want to release. So that is very much what this reading seems to want to be all about, and taking that time to connect with yourself, to ask these questions, to perhaps sit with them or walk with them, or maybe when you're in the water, be with them and see what surfaces. What information can you glean when you are in this fresh place and when you let your mind rest and you can tap into that heart space and that intuition space? What wants to come forward? What wants to be known? What wants to be created? And if you feel like you've already figured this out, they're again revisiting this message from last week of like, have you told anybody? So a loving reminder to say it out loud, to write it down, to let it be expressed through your throat space. And also I'm receiving that for some of you, it might be this practice of editing down. So maybe there was like a long list or a pretty ambitious target that you may have set for yourself. And for some of you, it might be a moment where you're like, well, actually, I don't think that I want to do that, or that doesn't feel like it's in alignment with my heart or my intuition. So I'm going to actually release that and edit down my goals or my ambitions for the rest of the year. And again, they're saying don't overthink it. Let that heart and the intuition really play a role here and lead this process. And they want you to know you're doing so great. So there is this overwhelming sense of pride and feels like congratulations, celebration, nothing to fix. Just keep going. They want you to take a deep breath. So we can do that. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose. And hold it for a second, and then just let it all go through your mouth. All right, that is the reading for the week. It's not always the case that the themes repeat so much, but that is how the records work. Our masters, teachers, loved ones, those that are sharing these messages in the records, want us to learn a lesson, integrate it, and until we do, it can continue to surface. And as always, please use your discernment, taking anything that resonated and leaving the rest behind. And if anything came through that did feel like it was speaking directly to you, it's definitely not a coincidence. That's you recognizing that there is something you're sensing or maybe hearing that you're not fully trusting yet. So that is the whole point of an Akashic Records reading. And I do offer live readings that are personalized, as these are for the collective, these weekly readings. Or I do a readout, so a recording of a reading that answers one question. So those options, I'll put a link in the notes to book if that's calling to you. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to get to spend the start of the week with you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week.